You think you have mother-in-law issues? Wait until you meet Annie, a woman whose definition of motherly love involves kidnapping, arson, and a terrifying level of gaslighting that would make a psychologist's head spin. This story isn't just about a clash of personalities, it's a slow burn descent into madness where the stakes are life, death, and the very identity of the people involved. We start this twisted tale at a desolate beach house where the waves crash against the shore like a warning no one is listening to. Our protagonist is Daisy, a woman who seems to have it all. She's young, beautiful, a fitness instructor, and deeply in love with her new husband, Ben. But Daisy is hiding deep emotional scars. She's pregnant, which should be joyous. But for Daisy, it's terrifying because she's carrying a secret trauma from her teenage years. A baby she gave up for adoption, a choice that has haunted her every single day. She wants a fresh start with Ben, but she's terrified she's going to fail as a mother again. Ben, on the other hand, is this sweet, slightly melancholy musician who worships his single mother, Annie. He's a mama's boy in the most extreme sense, having been raised in isolation by Annie, believing she saved him from a violent father. When Ben finally introduces Daisy to Annie, the vibes are instantly atrocious. Annie is cold, judgmental, and frankly, a little creepy. She lives in this gloomy house filled with shrines to Ben and absolutely zero technology. No TV, no internet. She looks at Daisy like she's a virus that needs to be eradicated. There's this excruciating scene where Annie accidentally burns Daisy's hand with a teapot, and you just know this woman is dangerous. She even gives Daisy a gift, a fridge magnet about a daughter-in-law being the child she never wanted. Ouch. But the real red flag? Annie recognizes Daisy. She's seen her face before, years ago, in the newspapers regarding a scandal involving a teacher and a student. Annie knows Daisy's secrets, and she immediately weaponizes them in her mind, deciding that Daisy is unfit to be with her precious boy. Things go from awkward to catastrophic when tragedy strikes. Daisy's best friend, Eve, drags her out for a birthday drink, leaving their shared apartment empty, or so they think. While they are out, the apartment explodes in a massive fire. Eve, realizing she forgot her purse, runs back into the building just as the blast happens. She dies. It's absolutely gut-wrenching because Eve was Daisy's rock, the only person who truly knew her. Daisy is devastated, blaming herself for not stopping Eve. But here's the kicker. The fire wasn't an accident. We learn that Annie, driven by jealousy and a need to destroy Daisy's life, snuck into the apartment, tampered with the old gas stove, and turned it into a ticking time bomb. She literally murdered her son's best friend just to destabilize his marriage. With their home destroyed and Daisy in a state of severe shock, Ben decides they have to move in with Annie at the beach house. This is the worst possible idea, but they have nowhere else to go. As soon as they move in, the psychological warfare begins. Annie is suffocatingly helpful, constantly undermining Daisy's confidence, hinting that she's unstable and unfit to be a mother. Then, the unthinkable happens. Ben, who had just secured a big music gig in Scotland, suddenly disappears. He stops answering calls. He sends a cryptic, cold text message telling Daisy he needs space and that she should let his mother look after her. Daisy is heartbroken. She thinks Ben has abandoned her, just like everyone else in her life, confirming her deepest insecurity, that she is unlovable and destined to ruin everything. But we, the audience, know something is wrong. Ben wouldn't just leave. The narrative takes us back in time to reveal the horrifying truth of who Annie really is. Her name isn't Annie, it's Grace. Decades ago, Grace was a lonely, infertile woman obsessed with a young mother named Jenny. She befriended Jenny, gained her trust, and then, in a moment of pure opportunistic evil, stole Jenny's toddler son, Michael. She ran away, changed her name to Annie, renamed the boy Ben, and raised him as her own, feeding him lies about a non-existent abusive father to keep him close. Ben isn't her son, he's her captive. And in the present day, Ben didn't leave for Scotland. He found out the truth. He found Annie's stash of news clippings about the kidnapping. When he confronted her, she didn't break down. She snapped. She drugged him and dragged him down to the soundproofed cellar of the beach house, chaining him to a radiator like an animal. So while Daisy is upstairs crying her eyes out, thinking her husband has dumped her, Ben is literally beneath her feet, starving and dying in the dark. The noises Daisy hears at night, the clanging pipes, the thuds, aren't the old house settling. They are Ben trying to signal for help. But Annie, the master manipulator, convinces Daisy she's hearing things, feeding her sedatives to keep her compliant. Annie's plan is terrifyingly simple. She waits for Daisy to give birth, and then she intends to steal this baby too. She sees the grandchild as a do-over, a new baby to raise perfectly now that Ben has betrayed her by learning the truth. As Daisy's due date approaches, she becomes a zombie, doped up on Annie's vitamins, which are actually strong sedatives. But as labor starts, instinct kicks in. Daisy stops taking the pills. She needs a clear head. When the contractions hit hard, Annie tries to take control, preparing a birthing pool in the living room, acting more like a warden than a grandmother. The birth is traumatic and raw. Daisy delivers a baby boy, but the second he's out, Annie snatches him. She won't give him back. She starts calling him Daniel, completely ignoring Daisy's protests. The mask is fully off now. Annie isn't pretending to be nice. She's possessive, aggressive, and terrifying. Daisy, exhausted and bleeding, finally snaps out of her fog. She hears the banging from the cellar again. This time, with the clarity of a mother fighting for her life, she realizes it's a rhythm. A song she and Ben used to sing. It's him. Fueled by adrenaline, Daisy finds the hidden door under a rug and descends into the nightmare dungeon. She finds Ben, emaciated, bearded, and chained, barely alive in his own filth. It's a scene straight out of a horror movie, but before they can process the reunion, Annie appears at the top of the stairs, holding the newborn baby and a gun. This is the showdown. Annie is fully unhinged, ranting about how Ben was given to her and how she saved him. She aims the gun at Daisy and Ben, ready to kill them both to keep the baby. Daisy, despite her physical weakness, tries to reason with her, but Annie is too far gone. In a desperate move, Daisy charges up the stairs. Annie fires, but misses or struggles with the recoil, and Daisy manages to shove past her, escaping the cellar but leaving Ben trapped. Annie, realizing her plan is falling apart, does the unthinkable. She locks them in the cellar, pours petrol in the hallway, and sets the house on fire, fleeing with the baby in Daisy's car. Daisy is trapped in the smoke-filled cellar with a dying Ben, screaming for help. It looks like the end. But the fire draws attention. Emergency services arrive just in time. Firefighters break down the cellar door, pulling Daisy and Ben out moments before they suffocate. Meanwhile, police intercept Annie's car. She's caught red-handed with the baby. The rescue is chaotic and emotional, a blur of sirens and oxygen masks. In the hospital, the aftermath is heavy but hopeful. Daisy is reunited with her baby, whom she names Jasper. Ben survives, though he's weak. The most emotional twist comes when the police locate Ben's biological family. His real mother, Jenny, the woman Grace Annie befriended and betrayed all those years ago, walks into the hospital room. The reunion is tear-jerking. Jenny has never stopped looking for her son, Michael. Ben, now a grown man with a family of his own, finally learns the truth of his origin. He isn't the son of a monster. He was a stolen child who survived. The story ends with Daisy and Ben trying to heal. They are broken, traumatized, and homeless, but they are free. Annie is behind bars, where she belongs, though her shadow will likely haunt them forever. It's a chilling reminder that you never really know who people are, even the ones who claim to love you the most. Daisy finally steps into her power as a mother, realizing she isn't the failure she thought she was. She's a survivor who fought through hell to save her family. Now I have to ask, do you think Ben can ever truly recover from realizing his entire life was a lie constructed by his kidnapper? And would you have spotted the red flags with Annie sooner, or is her brand of manipulation too subtle until it's too late? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this wild ride, don't forget to like this video and hit that